Cloud and AI Security Bootcamp organized by the Microsoft Naija Security User Group to train and equip the youths and professionals for the nearest future in this era of AI and cloud security. So before we go forward, I want to introduce my amazing boss in the person of Emmanuel Oghenegare Itoje. He's my boss. Is like I made mention earlier, he's an accomplished cloud security professional and is also a Microsoft MVP. And for that, we are highly grateful to have him in our midst. And I'm going to pass the microphone to him so that he can start and tell us more about the pre-onboarding and orientation section for the bootcamp. Thank you, boss. The mic is yours.
Thank you very much, Oyimafu, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. Please, can you confirm you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Fantastic. So the moment we have 43 of us on this call, and if I'm to check people that are registered, I'm signing in quickly to check number that register. So the last time I checked, we have over 650 people that registered. And this, even though this bootcamp is going to be a free bootcamp, we want people that will be serious with it. We don't just want the crowd. We don't want quantity. We're dealing with quality. And by 14 my time, in the next 4 minutes, we're going to close out the people that will be part of this bootcamp. So this orientation plan is actually one way to actually sieve out people that are serious from people that are not serious. Like an attendance sheet will be shared, and once it's shared, it is only the people that join this orientation camp on time. That's why we give additional 10 minutes for others to join in case they are having issues or challenges, because we are putting to we have a lot of mentors that are coming together to come and train us, and as a result, the people that are very busy, and out of their busy schedule, they volunteer to come and mentor us. So the best that we can do as mentees is to actually be on time. It is part of our motto. So we have 50 people on the call now, and I'm checking the registration form. We have 708 people um that register for the sports camp. Oyimafu, can you please help me to drop the attendance sheet on the chat so that people can sign the attendance? That's an important thing. If you do not sign the
Okay.
attendance, you're automatically out of the boot camp. We don't want the crowd, like I mentioned. We only want people that are very, very serious. So please drop the link to the attendance sheet. Let people sign in their attendance. And once it's 11 minutes after 4, we're going to close that form. So we know
Okay.
that these are the people we're dealing with in the bootcamp. We don't want to
Sure.
repeat the same thing that happened in the fundamentals class that we have over 2,000 people that register. At the end of the day, barely 40 people are serious in the bootcamp, even though it's free. We want people that'll be serious about it, and we'll be dropping people along the way, because that's the purpose of this orientation. I'm going to show us, we're going to see the rules and regulation of the bootcamp and things that you need to do, otherwise you'll be dropped from the bootcamp. That's the reason why we've not even shared the WhatsApp group for people that were part of the bootcamp. It is from the attendance sheet that will share the WhatsApp group of the bootcamp itself. We already have all our mentors in the WhatsApp group already. Yeah, so the attendance sheet has been pasted. You want to confirm, is it simply that Amos dropped? Amos, is it the attendance sheet? So please
Okay.
fill the attendance form, because as soon as it is 4:11, the attendance is closed. That means these are the only people that were part of the bootcamp. So I'll
Okay.
give you 2 minutes to fill out the attendance sheet. Then we'll close out the attendance.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the attendance form that he dropped. That's it. So they can go ahead to fill it.
If you're on this call, fill the attendance sheet right now. Some people did not get the registration link Oyimafu. Somebody just telling me now that the email you got doesn't have the Teams meeting link.
Yeah, the Teams meeting link is there. It's there. I think it's there. It's there. I
It's only
confirmed
the
it.
it's only the YouTube I can see from the
Yeah.
screenshot this person shared. Okay. So if you're just joining the call, there's an attendance sheet that you need to fill. Fill that attendance sheet right now. It is today's attendant that will determine who will be joining on this journey for the next 6 months. We don't want the crowd. Thank you, Amos. Fantastic, Matthias. Your field attendance can just do done on the chart, so I know people are feeling it. Oroma, thank you so much. Thank you, Isaac Adekunle. Thank you, Dari. Thank you, Goma. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, Omoboyi Walis, Abdurrahman. Thank you. All right, fantastic. I'll be sharing my screen so I can drive it from here. All right, fantastic. So Amos, please, you don't need to share the attendance form again, and please do not share with any other person. So already we have the data of people that are part of us. So every other persons, they are not part of the sports camp. Fantastic. Please confirm you can see my screen, my slide.
Yeah, your slide is visible.
All right, good morning. Once again, good afternoon. Good evening from wherever you're joining us from. I want to welcome us to the Cloud and AI Security Engineer Pre-Bootcamp. Thank you so much for registering to be part of this journey. And like I mentioned earlier, we only want serious-minded people for this bootcamp. That is actually the purpose of these pre-bootcamp sessions, and also to help you set up to prepare for the bootcamp itself. Like Emmanuel introduced me, my name is Emmanuel Itoje. I'm one of the leader of the Microsoft Naija Security User Group, which is a community that is actually organizing this particular bootcamp. I'm a Microsoft MVP. I'm also a Microsoft certified trainer. And the reason why we're organizing this bootcamp, we are seeing the shift in security into AI. And the moment Microsoft introduced the SC500, which is Cloud and AI Security Engineer, we decided that, okay, let's use the learning path to create a bootcamp. Then we did call for mentors, and we have a lot of mentors that we've been meeting right throughout the bootcamp. Amazing people, subject matter experts in cloud, in AI security. You've been meeting a lot of persons, mentor. This might be probably I have maybe 1 or 2 classes in the entire bootcamp where I have a lot of amazing mentors that will be teaching us, training us, because even in this bootcamp, I'm also personally here to learn. Actually, I wrote the exam earlier this month when it was still in beta, so we are still waiting for the results. The results is expected to come out when the exam goes live in August, and also I think it's about 10 days after the exam goes live that the results will come out. But it was a fantastic exam. It was a fantastic experience. I loved the exam. I loved everything about the exam. So being one of the organizers of this bootcamp, the goal of this bootcamp is to actually ensure that we create people that are ready for the future, especially when you talk about Microsoft technologies around the cloud, Azure, the AI solutions, be it Copilot, Microsoft Foundry. You're going to see secure how you can secure those systems basically. So that is the purpose of this bootcamp. So what we are doing today is to set foundation for you, what to expect and how we'll be working and what we expect from you. Like I mentioned, we have over 700 people that register for this bootcamp. As at this moment, we have less than 70 people that are part of the bootcamp, because I can see a lot of new people joining after the 10 minutes break, because we don't expect you to come to class late. I had a session 2 hours prior to this session. I had to leave the session to be here on time. So one of the things we expect from me is to come to class on time, because we'll be taking attendance maybe once it is 3 minutes into the class. Once you miss the attendance for that day, you're automatically out of the bootcamp. One people that are serious people, if you're going to be missing a class or you're going to be coming late to a class, we expect that you actually communicate that to the mentors or to the organizer that I'll be coming late to this class. And whenever you join the class, try to ensure that your mic is on mute. Somebody just joined the class and Arize, your mic wasn't on mute. That's one of the things you have to check. Check if your mic is on mute before you click on the join button on Teams. Teams makes that very easy. All right, let's go into the conversation properly. Now, our agenda for today, we'll be looking at these 6 things and more. Actually, the first one is about the bootcamp, the mission, the scope, and what we're building together. The second is your commitment in terms of attendance, punctuality, doing your assignments, and also doing the project. Then what to expect. So we're going to have it's actually the curriculum is actually structured. You have a structured curriculum for this. We have amazing mentors, like I mentioned. You'll be doing projects, and there'll be an assessment also, because we are hoping to get sponsorships for different organizations. Personally, I've visited some organizations to tell them about the sports camp and how they can partner with us in terms of getting sponsorships for maybe Microsoft certification vouchers that you're using to write the exams. We're not promising anything, but that will come as soon as we get the sponsors. Also, partnering with other organizations that is a partner with Microsoft Learn, also to give us access to a lab environment, meaning that everybody that will be part of this journey with us will basically have an account that you use to demo, because every assignment, it's very, very important. Then our code of conduct also will also be looking into that around respect, collaborations, and community standards. Then also we're looking at learning and collaboration. How do we study? How do we share? And also supporting one another. Then what is the key to success? Habits that consistently produce strong graduates. What are the things that we expect at the end of this bootcamp? It's not just for you to come here to consume the knowledge. What are the things you can do? So there'll be a session, a career mentorship session after the entire bootcamp, which I'll be leading with other mentors as well, for us to tell you what are the next steps for you in terms of the career after the bootcamp. So about the bootcamp, so this is actually a 6-month structured mentor-led training, right? So that means for every class, every Saturday, there'll be class for the next 6 months, and mentors will be here to actually lead you into the class. They will guide you, and it's actually 100% free. So if there's anybody reaching out to you that you need to pay money for this bootcamp, just know that they are scam. This is 100% free, sponsored and organized by the Microsoft Naija security user group. So we are focusing on 2 parts in the learning part: cloud security and AI security, right? So combining the 2 together to give us the cloud and AI security bootcamp. So our mission, just have one mission: wants to be job ready after the bootcamp, meaning that you should be able to go into organizations and tell them that this is an era of AI. I can actually help you secure your AI models. I can help you, secure if you're using Microsoft 365 Copilot or Security Copilot. I have the skill sets to actually, help you to secure that, making you job ready. So basically, as a community, we exist to close the talent gap in cloud and AI by producing engineers who are technically sound and also security minded and ready for real world responsibilities. Now, what are the things that you should expect from us? I mentioned this earlier: a structured curriculum. We are leveraging on the SC500 curriculum, Microsoft Learn. That is what we are leveraging on. As at the moment, there's a learning path for it, but for MCT, there is no materials on it. The last time I checked the MCT portal, there's no material. So it's the same learning path link that I'll be sharing with you. That is what the mentors are using or will be using to create their PowerPoint slides. So it's a structured curriculum. So, and it's progressive, meaning that we're going to start from the very foundation. But again, you should note that this class is not a foundation class. This class is not a beginner's class. We had a beginner's class last year between October and February this year. So there was a class between cover SC900, which is security, compliance, and identity fundamentals, and SC300, which is identity and access fundamental, and about 3 applied skills, which are beginner skills, right? So if you missed that particular bootcamp, we have the playlist on our YouTube channel. The link to the YouTube channel will be shared with us, so you can go through the playlist so that, because the mentors are picking it from this is an intermediate to an advanced class, right? It's not a foundation class. So if you miss that beginner's class, you might struggle. But a way to, keep yourself up to date is to go and watch the recording of that particular bootcamp that we had last year's. So again, we'll be looking at cloud identity and threat modeling, security generally, how to secure AI, machine learning, even detections, as well as governance in AI. Then another thing you should expect from us is experienced mentors. We've screened out all the mentors. We ensure that there are people that are experienced doing this on a day-to-day basis. They're not just coming to run through a PowerPoint slide from Microsoft Lane. They are coming with their experience, right? They'll be bringing the field experience so that you know how things are being done in a real life environment, right? So these are some of the things that you should expect from us. So the mentors will be reviewing your assignments, assessments, and be giving you suggestions on how to improve your project. And if you're stuck, we have some mentors on standby for one-on-one check-ins that will help you also. You have to request, you have to book an appointment to the mentor that's okay, you're stuck with something, a mentor will be there to support you. Then the third thing you expect from us is projects. There'll be hands-on projects in this. That's the reason why we'll be providing everybody that that came early to this class, that filled the attendance sheet that was filled today is actually what we'll be using to create your account later this month. As soon as we have access to the tenants, we'll create an account. The account has access to Azure subscriptions that you use to practice. And part of this setup session is to teach you how to manage your Azure credits, how to delete resources. That's our mentor, Oyimafu, will be walking us through that. So there will be hands-on projects, right? You'll be doing projects, you'll be submitting projects. Sonny, Rashid, sorry, you're late, so that you'll not be able to fill the attendance, unfortunately. Then every assignment will be reviewed by mentors. Everything we'll be doing here will mirror what is happening in a real life environment. Now, what do we expect from you? So you have to really, really pay attention here, because like I mentioned, for those that came earlier, this is free, but it's going to cost you. What is it going to cost you? It's going to cost you your time. It's going to cost you to be very serious with it. We don't want to repeat the same thing that we did last week. Solomon, if you had come earlier before 4:10, you will see the link to the assignment. So that means you came late. Yeah. So we expect that you attend every class. It is very important. Once you miss a class and you did not inform the organizers, you did not inform the mentors, it means that you don't want to be part of the program and you'll be removed from the mentorship program. It is free, but it requires you to be serious. Meaning, if you're not going to be serious with it, there's no point you being with us on the journey, right? So attendance is mandatory. So you have to tell your mentors in advance if there is any unavoidable conflict, right? If you know, maybe you have some emergency, we know emergency happen, but let us know, let us be aware that you'll not be attending to this class due to some personal reason. You don't need to tell us what it is, right? But inform us that you'll not be attending so that we know that, okay, these are the number of people that we are expecting in class. The second is you join early, right? And be ready. What do I mean join early? This class today starts by 4 o'clock. As at 4 o'clock, I think we have less than 50 people on the call. So because I was trying to give grace to others, we give additional 10 minutes. And with that additional 10 minutes, I think we had about 65 people. And that's when we share the attendance sheet. And it's those 65 people that is officially part of this mentorship program. Everyone that didn't fill the attendance sheet is automatically out of this mentorship program. Why? Because you never came early. So you have to come early, like 10 minutes before class. Sign in, check your mic, check your sound, ensure that everything is fine. That's the purpose. I was in a different session, a 2-hour session before this session, and I still had to come in early to ensure that I'm early, checking my mic, checking everything, my sound, to ensure that you can hear me. Then another thing that is very important is that all assignments must be completed. It is possible that you have assignments every week. It could be every month, right? But what is important that you submit all assignments, and how your assignments will be, how you submit the assignments is going to be explained as part of this onboarding sessions, right? Because we have mentors, their work is to review all assignments. When you do not submit assignments and you don't have reasons why you didn't do the assignments, you're automatically out of the bootcamp. Again, we want just serious-minded people, people who are willing to learn. And at the end of the day, we're going to explain to you why you need to do every assignment. Then show up for your course. So support your classmates. This is an environment we encourage collaborations, right? There's possibility that you might be grouped into groups. There's possibility that you have to work alone, depending, right? But what is important is that support one another. When you're added to the WhatsApp group, support everyone, right? If somebody asks questions, you know the answer, you share knowledge, engage in group work, right? Don't learn in isolation, right? Most of us, we didn't have this opportunity, right? We had to learn the hard way, but we didn't want the same thing that happened to us to happen to you. That's the reason why we are bringing these bootcamps, such that you have a community that you're learning with, people you can learn with, you can share knowledge. Then this is very important. You have to be respectful always. It's very important to your trainers, to your peer. You just have to be respectful, right? I can't overemphasize that. You talk to people with respect. We don't tolerate any form of disrespect at all. That is something that can kick you out of the bootcamp. Talk with respect. You have a question, you ask a question, you're helping somebody to answer questions, answer with respect, right? Then again, lastly, bring in a learner's mindset. Ask questions, accept feedback. When your assignment has been reviewed by your mentors and they give you feedbacks, accept the feedbacks, right? Put in the hours. The thing is that you only have 2 hours every weekend. That's why we're not doing Saturday, Sunday. In our sister community, we do it both Saturday and Sunday, meaning that 4 hours every weekend. But in this particular bootcamp, we don't want to rush things because we really want you to understand the point. We want you to get the point, right? So as a result, what we are doing is that one class per week is just 2 hours. No mentor will exceed 2 hours. If there is a reason for them to exceed 2 hours, that means maybe they are trying to explain further for you to understand. Maybe somebody asks a question that requires them to explain again. The reason is that we don't want to jump pack you with knowledge, right? We don't want to bombard you with information overload. We want you to take it step by step. That's why we've broken down the Microsoft Learn SC500 into a 6-month course.
Hello?
We've broken it down into a 6-month course. So put in the hours. That means that if an assignment is given maximum, I'll be honest with you, within 2 hours in the entire 40 hours you have in a week, you should be able to cover 2 hours to finish your assignment. The assignment will not take you more than 2 hours. Every assignment that will be given to you. If it's going to be weekly, it's going to be monthly, right? It's going to be it's actually going to be it shouldn't stress you. Out of 40 hours you have in a week, I'm talking about 40 working hours. But you have to go by the 24 hours you have for 5 days, Monday to Friday. You should be able to carve out 2 hours to do your assignments. So that's the reason why we're going to be very serious about the assignments. An assignment is given and you didn't do the assignment, we're going to basically remove from the bootcamp. Amos, can you help me to share the attendance list again? People that have not filled the attendance, if you have filled before, don't worry, don't fill it again. Just for others that are just joining to fill in the attendance, and this is the last grace I'm given. So these are almost 430 that we've given already. Then remember there's a form that I said that they should fill. If you have questions, you can fill your questions in that form also. We'll also be answering the questions alongside with the bootcamp. Can you do that? Then lastly, before I jump into my next slide, I'll be sharing the link, the WhatsApp link to the bootcamp right now. Please do not share it outside with anybody. Again, do not share it outside with anybody. So join the group right now. Join the WhatsApp group now. I just shared the WhatsApp link on the chat. Join it. Then there's also another form to fill out. One second, let me remove the permissions. So you should be able to join without needing permission. Let me remove the permission. 1 second. Okay, you can join just join. I wouldn't remove the permission for now. All right. The attendance has been shared again. So if you missed the attendance, this is a final attendance. If you have filled before, you don't need to fill again because we need the data to create your account that you'll be using to practice later this month. If you have filled the attendance, you don't need to fill again. So fill in the attendance form now. So I know that we are working with 89 people for this bootcamp out of 708 that registered. Interesting. Now you guys should thank Victor Matthew and Lucky Divine also. All right, fantastic. So while you're filling the attendance, joining the group, right? Please do not share the WhatsApp group with anybody. So I know we have 89 people. So we have 89 people plus the mentors and the organizers on the WhatsApp group. All right. So we can continue with the presentation. A few more slides. Now, these are code of conduct, right? It's very important. I mentioned this earlier. Respect, right? Address your trainers and your peers professionally. You don't need to use anything. You can use the first name, but be respectful, right? No harassment, no discrimination. This is a global community. We have people joining from India, from the UK, from the Canada, right? It's a global community. There is no discrimination here. We are actually we work alongside with Microsoft Code of Conduct, right? We take in everybody, right? Integrity is very important, right? When you're given an assignment, don't go and copy somebody's work. Do your own work. The reason why we're giving the assignment is to know, it's not to mark you down or something, it's to know maybe you understand the concept. Because the mentor that will review your assignment will be able to have a one-on-one with you if there's possibility for any improvement. But if you go and copy somebody's work, we'll assume that you already know it and we'll move on. Who is losing at the end of the day? It's not us. It is you that will be losing. So submit your own work. You know, if you're using some sources to do the assignment, cite them, right? Give credit to if you collaborated with anybody, give credit on your work and never claim other people's work. If you have not done the work yourself, don't claim other people's work because at the end of the day, want to ensure that you actually get the best out of it. So integrity is something very important. If you find out that you are copying from somebody's work, not your work, and if you find out it's actually something that can actually get you kicked out of the bootcamp, then confidentiality is very important that when the recording of this is, even though the recording will be available on our community YouTube channel, right? Except you've been given explicit right to share the recording, please do not share it outside. All communications remain within the WhatsApp group. You don't share any information. Confidentiality is very, very important. There's a reason why we're doing that. Then professionalizing, right? So I know most of you, you might not be camera ready, but it's always very, very important that for engagement, they always be camera ready. You can never tell what that can actually do to you, right? You can turn on the camera, let it show that you're actually seated in class, you're paying attention, right? If you can, but if you cannot, it's completely optional, right? But it encourages the trainer seeing that they're not just seeing the icons on the or the emojis on the screen, they're seeing people actually, being in class. Professionalism is very important. Personally, like I remember there were some sessions I had in past when I was preparing for the session. My wife was like, but this your session is virtual. Why are you using perfume? I said, I had to be as though I'm in a physical class with people. I dress like that. I'm dressed complete the way I am like this. I'm even wearing shoe, like as though I'm in a physical session to show you how serious it is for me. Because it's not just virtual, it's serious because the kind of the caliber of mentors that we have that will be teaching us this, but they're the best in the industry, right? Best in the industry. So it's very important, respect, integrity, confidentiality, and professionalism. And we encourage you, whatever you learn in class, share it on LinkedIn, post about it, right? But ensure that confidentiality, it's very important. I'm looking at the time before so that I can hand over to Oyimafu to take us on the other things. Now, learning, collaboration, and support. So this is very, very important. How do we study, share, and support one another throughout the program? So we are here to actually learn from one another, right? Mentors are coming in to train us to also learn from us, right? There is nobody that is an island, right? We are here to share knowledge. This Microsoft Learning part is new to everybody because Microsoft just introduced it, right? So if there are ideas that you have, be open in class, share, raise your hands, tell the mentor, I think I have some suggestion. Talk, be open. This is, we encourage open collaboration, meaning that you can raise up your hands anytime, call on the mentor, share your ideas in the class, on the WhatsApp group, and any other group that we'll be using for collaboration. So be present and engage in every live classes, right? Use the chat window. If you want to talk, raise up your hands, and the moderator, there'll be a moderator for every class. Moderator will call you to, ask your questions or anything at all. Use the chat window. Just engage, right? Review materials. So we'll be sharing the next topics with you. Like the first topic we'll be having next week Saturday now. After the bootcamp, after the onboarding session today, it will be shared with you so that you can go ahead and prepare for the class so that it will make the class more interesting, more interacting. If there are things that you discover while you're studying, right, the material, it will make it make sense, right? For me, I'm an active learner, meaning that I like to go and read the material, then come to class. So when they're not explaining it, it makes sense to me, and I'm able to ask those questions that were confusing to me while I was studying on my own. So they can adopt something like that. So, and that's something that we're adopting for this class. We'll share the learning part of the next topic with you so that during the week, if you have the time, 1 hour, 2 hours, go through it, jot down some questions. By the time you're coming to class, the class is interactive. It becomes fun when everybody is talking in the class, right? Practice, hands-on. Lab is not optional in this class. So if there are some of you that already have an Azure environment, Azure subscription that you can practice, all well and good, but we're partnering with some organizations that will help us to create an account for everyone that has Azure credit. At least you have an Azure $100 credit every month that you have to manage. That means after you provision resources, you have to delete them, just to be able to manage the $100 credit that will be given to you from Microsoft every month, right? It's very important. Ask questions early and don't stay stuck, right? If you have questions, be free to ask a question on the WhatsApp group, in the live class, drop it on the chat. If you want to, unmute yourself, raise up your hand, use the raise hand button on the Teams, moderator will call you, you ask a question, right? Then it is also very important that you track progress with a weekly self-review. That's something you have to do for yourself. You have to check, am I, from the last class till now, have I improved on myself? Have I learned new things? It's very important. Or am I just wasting my time in this bootcamp? I can assure you, we're not here to, I don't organize something that will waste anybody's time. And if it's going to get to the point that we feel that we are wasting anybody's time, we're going to stop the bootcamp and go and do other things. Maybe go and sell akara or kulikuli or anything that our first lady said. Go and sell something. We'll close down the bootcamp. It's not important. But I can assure you that every time you spend with any of the mentors, that you're going to get value for your time, because my time is so valuable. Like right now, I'm going to jump off the call in the next 20 minutes. I'm taking my kid to a birthday party, right? So time is very, very important. Like all my plan is scheduled already, but I just said, nah, I need to be in this class before I take them to the birthday party. But if I'm going to waste my time, I will not be here, because I have other things that are valuable for my time. So again, how do we collaborate and support, right? Help one peer for every question here. So you have answers to questions. Maybe you've read ahead, you can answer questions in the WhatsApp, in the group chat, and also on the Teams chat, right? You can answer questions, share resources. Maybe you've read over the week, you have some resources, you have some pointer, share with us. We want to even feature you on our social media page, right? Something that you share for the community. Give feedback that is honest, kind, and specific. We don't want fake feedback, right? Something that is honest and it is kind. I mentioned earlier, you have to be respectful, right? Be firm and be kind. That is our goal in this community, right? We are firm and we are kind. Like when somebody apologized that I should tamper out, okay, let's share, let's have more people join us. Otherwise, I would have said, okay, it's 60 people that fill the attendance sheets that be part of us. Again, respect deadlines in any group project and be reliable. If you are put in a group and you have a group project to do and you feel that you don't have the time to do it, let your group mates be aware, let your mentors be aware, let the organizer be aware that you'll not be able to meet up, so that if there's any other additional support you need, we are here to provide the support for you. Again, escalate blockers to mentors within 24 hours is very, very important, because we want to ensure that every week you are learning. Every week you're learning. It's very, very important. So there'll be different communication channels, right? They'll be using. The most important one is a live class, because that's where you have a live mentor like on the call to answer your question live. So that'll be the primary learning session. Be on time, be camera ready, and be fully present. Why I say be camera ready is let it be that people are aware that you are, for the next 6 months between 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. you are busy. There were people that were supposed to come and see me today. I was supposed to have an appointment with them. I told them, sorry, from 3 p.m., I'm not available today. So if you can make it before 3 p.m., you can see me. Why? Because I want to be present. I don't want distractions. I don't want to situation where my phone will be ringing that, oh, I'm downstairs, I'm waiting for you to come and open the door or something. I don't want to be distracted. That is you being present. You tell people around you that I'm starting a boot camp. It's a 6-month boot camp between 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. every Saturday. My calendar is blocked. So I know that they won't distract you at that time. That is you being fully present. You avoid every distractions, especially during the live class, right? So there'll be a day-to-day discussion on our WhatsApp group, right? Announcement, and if there's any questions, WhatsApp group, right? So there'll be a mentor office hour. So some mentors are dedicate some of their hours. If you need to have one-on-one check-in with them, right? That will be communicated further as we start the mentorship class further. Then an assignment portal, Oyimafu is going to tell you more about how your assignment portal is. It's not really, we didn't create a portal. Actually, we had a plan, maybe future cohorts will create an assignment portal, but for this cohort, what we are using is GitHub, github.com. So it's going to walk us through how we're going to set up our GitHub account, because that is where we'll be revealing all your assignments. And an email will also be provided in case you want to send out an email, right? You're trying to reach the organizers. We're going to share an email for you to also send an email for any personal, urgent, or sensitive matters that you may have. Now, what are the key to a successful bootcamp? So for us, what we are looking at first is consistency over intensity. We don't want to overload you with information. That's the reason why we are doing it. This course ideally is a 4 day course, 8 hours per day for 4 days. It's a 40 hours course. But we don't want to overload with information. We want to get value for everything. So that's the reason why we are doing, what is important is consistency. 1 to 2 hours. Some classes will not even be up to 2 hours. You will see it as the bootcamp starts. Some classes might just be 1 hour 30 minutes. Some will be 1 hour 45 minutes. Some can even be 1 hour 20 minutes. But maximum 2 hours will be the class, right? We don't want intensity. Don't do anything initial gra. We want all mentors to take their time, pick the topic, go deep into the topic, share real life scenarios, real life environment. That's what we are trying. That's what we told all our mentors, right? Take ownership. Taking ownership means drive your own learning. Our mentor are here to guide you, but you have to do the work. If you're not ready to do the work, that means this bootcamp is not for you. The work will be done by you. Our work as mentors, as organizer, is to guide you. Because at the end of the day, the resources we are using is available on the internet. You can go and pick the resources and learn on your own. But what we are doing is that we are bringing mentors to come and guide us. Now, the reason for the assignment portal, which is our GitHub, is you document as you go, meaning that you keep a personal knowledge base, any notes, any snippets, any lessons, right? Document it on your GitHub. That's is going to be explained to us. Once I leave this session, I'll hand over to Oyimafu. He's going to walk us through all those things that you need to do for your report, things you need to do. Like those of you that don't have a GitHub repository, right? You don't have a GitHub account, you will need to have one as part of this bootcamp, and we're going to guide you on how to create one. It's free, basically. Now, build in public is the same thing we're talking about. Document as you go, right? Because your GitHub repo should be available publicly so that after the 6 months, you will go back to the things that you've done and you'll be proud of yourself. And you have a portfolio to share with potential employers, potential recruiters. That's the purpose of documentation. That's the purpose of the GitHub, right? Because you have something to share. If you're reaching out to a potential recruiter, there'll be a session on, like I mentioned, career mentorship, CV revamping, LinkedIn optimization. We're gonna have session like that after the bootcamp, right? How to answer interview questions, how to sell yourself, all those sessions will happen. But if you don't have those resources available, then what are you selling? How do you sell yourself? So you're building in public. Talk about what you learn every week, or it can be every month. You talk about, write a LinkedIn post on your LinkedIn, what you learned the last week or the last month in the bootcamp. That is you building in public. What is important again is to protect your well-being, meaning sleep, take break. Movement keep you sharp for 6 4 months. So if you need to sleep, you need to rest, take breaks in between. Every 40 minutes I take like 15 minutes break. That's where I work. If I sit for 40 minutes, I take 15 minutes break. It's over 40 minutes and my back is already pinning me because I'm supposed to have taken my break. So that's why I'm trying to rush. I only have one more slide left. So it's very important. Protect your well-being as you are in this bootcamp. Sleep. You need to, so that you don't break down. You don't stress yourself and you miss out on classes that you have to watch recording. So our well-being is very important. It's a community that will take care of our well-being. It's very important. Yesterday I wasn't feeling fine. I was at the hospital throughout and doctor advice, and I had to take note of what the doctor advised me. But because I needed to lead this session, I still had to be here. If not, I've already handed over the session to him for already to lead. But I said, no, let me still come here after this session now, take my kids to the birthday party. I'll come back home and come and sleep. When they are done with the birthday party, I'll go and pick them again. Finish what you start. Don't join this bootcamp with the hope that after 2 months, after 3 months, you just dropped. Don't be like that. It's a bad thing. If you're someone that starts something and you don't finish it, if I'm going to do something and I wouldn't finish it, I will not start it at all. So before doing anything, I will have calculated the cost. Cost in terms of the time is going to cost me, the resources is going to cost me, the effort is going to cost me. If I don't have enough resources, if I don't have enough time to finish it, I wouldn't start it at all. I'd rather not do it at all than to start it, then halfway and not stop. So it's very important. Every assignment, every project, completion is a habit that compounds. You'll be proud of it. By December, we'll come back here, we'll talk. I'll be the one that will handle the last part. Just see I'm doing this first class. We'll talk. You not tell me how proud you are that you started it and you completed this bootcamp. You'll be so proud. In fact, you ask for my account number. I have dollar, I have euro, and I have Canadian dollar, pounds accounts. You ask for any of them, and you send me something like that. Thank you. Thank you for this. I'm telling you, I'm already seeing the 6 months. I'm already seeing December already, before Christmas. Most of you will send me something for Christmas. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. Most of you send me something for Christmas that, thank you for organizing this bootcamp. Even though I know it wasn't easy, you don't have the time. You're still out of your busy schedule. You're still putting this bootcamp together, right? So it's very important. Every completion habit that compounds. It compounds. It's very important. And this is my last slide before I hand over to Oyimafu. Now, what are we looking for? Serious-minded learners ready to do the work. That's all we're looking for. We're not looking for the crowd. It's not as if you don't have other things to do with our time. That's why we're organizing. I have a lot to do with my time. I could be sleeping right now. I could be with my kids right now. I could be studying for my exam that I have on Monday right now, but I choose to be here. Like I'm super busy. Like if you check my calendar, I have back-to-back meetings. I had to cancel some of those meetings because I need to take my kids out. I'm a father of 3. So if you're a father on the call, you know what it means to have a family, to have a kid, to take care of them, spend quality time with them. So I have things to do. All the mentors are busy. They have things to do. But they are saying that, okay, I want to dedicate. Some mentors, you see them once, some you see them 2 times, some you see them 3 times. Those are becoming 3 times, means that they are dedicating 6 hours of their life to you. Those are coming 2 times, means they are dedicating 4 hours of their life to you. And some of them will also be part of revealing the assignments that we're doing also. Meaning that additional time that they could have been using to do other things, they are dedicating it to support you, to support your learning, to support your growth. So what we are looking for are serious-minded learners who are ready to do the work, right? So if you commit to show up, doing the assignments and supporting your peers and respecting the program, we'll commit everything we have to help you finish strong. Personally, the last mentorship program we had, from my pocket, I purchased vouchers for students because we couldn't get sponsors. But I've given them some tasks to do. Those are able to do those tasks. I just reached out one day. If you have done this, you have done this. I asked them for 3 things to do. I asked them for those that document all their learning on GitHub, those that publish what they talk about, they're building in public, talk about what they are learning on LinkedIn. And there's also one other thing that I said. Those that were eligible, I bought vouchers, I gave it to them from my own pocket. I didn't have to wait for Microsoft or any other person. We didn't have sponsors. So I had to buy voucher from my own pocket to support them. A lot of them have written the exam, they passed. Some will write it this by next week. And I'm super proud of it. That is something I personally can do. It's not somebody telling me to do this. Personally, I'll budget some amount that this is the amount that I want to use to support our mentees in terms of helping them to get vouchers to write this particular certification. This exam will go live by August, meaning that from September, October, November, December, some of you should be ready to write the exams, right? And you need vouchers for it. Exam is going to cost $83, but I don't mind buying the vouchers for those that are serious-minded, right? Sharing the voucher so they can write the exam and celebrate the success together. So that's what we're looking for. That's why I say we are not looking for crown, right? So I want to welcome you to the cohort. Thank you so much, everyone. So if you have questions, I think, Oyimafu, can you help me give the questions? Let me quickly answer some questions in the next 8 minutes before I hand over to you. Do you have questions? If you have questions, guys, you can raise up your hand. But if you have filled the form that has a question also, you can also.
Okay, so just one response so far. And the response is, I don't have a question. I'm cool for now. So
All right,
I guess,
fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah, so guys, if you have questions, the floor is open. I have 7 more minutes and I'll hand over to Oyimafu. Meaning that you not see me again until next week. I'm done taking the first class, me and one other mentor. So if you have questions, oh, fantastic, Jonathan. Any idea when it, so the results will be out. The exam will go live by September. So from Microsoft, once an exam goes live, the results will be out 10 days after the exam goes live. So we are both waiting for the result. Fantastic. Yeah, Felix, thank you for confirming that you benefited from the voucher. Thank you so much. Guys, we have questions. Yes, Adeni, please go ahead, unmute your mic and ask your question, please.
Good afternoon, Coach. Thank you for this opportunity. Please, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, please.
Okay, please, I have sat for SC 900.
Okay.
Without doing SC 300, can I do SC 500?
Yes, you can. You can. So SC 900 is a foundation, right? So SC 300 talks about the identity part. Why cloud and AI security is SC 500. So you can actually do this. So what you've done is 900 is the foundation. And if you're on this call, you didn't join our bootcamp for SC 900 and SC 300, the recording has been posted on the Teams chat. Pick the recording, be watching while you're preparing for the first class next week. Just be watching the recording, just get yourself familiar with the SC 900, which is the fundamentals, because most of the mentors, they are advanced people. We have to bring advanced people because this course is an advanced course. So we didn't, because we've already covered foundationals, so we brought advanced mentors to come and teach us on this. So they might not be able to go back to some things. So it's for you to do the work. You missed the foundational class, it's 900. Go and watch the recording. It's just 4 classes, right? And they're like 2 hours maximum, or 2 hours 30, because I remember my own class was 2 hours 30 minutes or 2 hours 45 minutes, right? But go and watch the recording if you missed the beginners class. This is an associate class. Thank you. I hope that answered your question. I didn't hear you.
Very well. Thank you, boss. Thank you.
You're welcome. Guys, the floor is open. I still have 5 more minutes to answer question. Yes, but Salad is not for this evening. They are beginners will be able to cope, or should you only focus on beginners videos and not on this bootcamps? So it all depends on you. So if you feel that before the beginning of the class next week Saturday, between today and Saturday, you're able to cover the fundamental class, I think you'll be good. I think you should be good, Bisola. You should be good. You should be good. So just go and watch the videos for this week. Dedicate maybe 2 hours every day from Monday. I started from tomorrow, from Sunday. So because I know you want to rest on Sunday, but let me say Monday, because personally I like to rest on Sunday too. From Monday to Friday, dedicated 2 hours. You should be able to cover the videos. Yeah. You're welcome. When will we get the YouTube playlist? So if you register for this bootcamp, in the email that we sent, there was a YouTube link. It's there, but on this chart too, there was a playlist. Can you help me to share it again? The YouTube playlist.
Okay,
Can
let
you,
me share it. Okay, drop on.
So promise, to answer your question, I'm going through the chat for questions. To answer your questions, what you need to do is that there's like 4 courses, S900. I started it. Just watch those 4 videos. You should be good. Then if you have time, be watching others as well. I hope that answers your question. Promise. I don't want to hear. If you have the time, you can watch all the recording. It's all good too, because SC 300 is part of what we're discussing. Entra ID, so you can watch it also. But the first 4 videos are very important. It's not locked. Wallace, right? I'm going to accept people in shortly. There's a reason why I didn't open it up for everybody. Yes, thank you, Mouse. Approval is ongoing. I have less than 3 minutes to answer questions. Yes, Chibuna, yes, you're correct. It lays a foundation. For virtual opportunity, there is no virtual opportunity until we get sponsors. So we are looking for sponsors to sponsor the voucher. So if you're working in an organization, maybe they are Microsoft partners, right? They would like to partner with us. Just help us to do an introduction, tell them about this bootcamp. We are happy to do a courtesy visit to them, tell them about the bootcamp and how they can partner with us. But at the moment, we don't have any sponsors for voucher for now. So voucher is not part. The real priority is for you to learn the skill. That's the priority of the bootcamp, right? So voucher will just be like a bonus. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, you can always get. Microsoft usually release free voucher. So resources we share, training that you can do that Microsoft can. You can get free voucher from Microsoft. So I really say this bootcamp will not cover SOC. It will not cover SOC, but it will cover a part of SOC, which is Microsoft Sentinel. We add a series on SOC SC200, but we have paused the series for now. But the bootcamp will not cover SOC. It will not cover IAM. IAM will cover in SC300. So go and watch the recording. That is where you see the IAM. This is only for SC500. So we understand that bad record, April. We understand that bad network can happen, right? But let the organizers and the mentors be aware that you have a bad network, you're not able to join the class. It is important. This is you being accountable, right? If you just miss a class without communicating, it means automatically you're not interested in the bootcamp and you have logged yourself out or signed yourself out. Let me see. Yes, there's a recording for S300 available also. It's in that series, it's in that playlist. We started from S900. After we finished S900, from the 7th video is S300. So you pick it up from there. Let me see. I hope that answers your question. Timlelu, sorry, can you list out the courses in order to watch it? You mentioned S9. So S900 and S300, they are together. So start from S900, which is the security, compliance, and identity fundamentals. Then proceed to, there are some applied skills that Tema took us with. Then proceed to S300. So always start with S900. If you don't have any cloud security background or experience at all, so S300, S900 rather, is where you should start from. You know, the recording of this meeting will be shared. Yes, it will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, and it will be shared with us on the WhatsApp group once you join. I'm a beginner's case that okay, I'm a beginner. I will do more on the previous bootcamp and catch up. Fantastic, yeah, that's a good plan. Ozioma says, what time would the class start on Saturday? So the same time, right now, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. West African time. That's the time for the class every Saturday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. West African time. Please, when exactly is the time? Is it Saturday or Sundays? Today is Saturday, obviously, right? So the class is only on Saturdays. We don't do class on Sundays. Our community would like to rest on Sunday. So use your Sunday to rest. Then from your Monday to Friday, do assignments. We encourage people to rest. We encourage people to sleep in our community. Adekunle says, I have an Azure account with an experience functional. Will I be able to use the same account to be able to have access to the free credit? No, you'll not be able to. Be created, another account to be created for you. Once the account is created for you, that's the account to be using to practice. Michael, where does this start in the recording? I think you see introduction to Entra ID. That is S300, that's where it starts from. Introduction to Entra ID. Yeah. So everybody that's joined the WhatsApp group, you've been approved. Thank you very much, Amos, for that. Fantastic job. So you're part of the WhatsApp group. So there'll be communications happening there. So my time is up now. So I'm going to hand over to Oyimafu to take us on other setup, how to set up a GitHub account and everything. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me blabbing since past 1 hour. Thank you so much. Oyimafu, I'm passing the mic to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, MVP. We appreciate you and we thank you for the walkthrough. That was a wonderful section and it's good listening to you.
I know you're trying to try Teams. Can you not use the avatar? Can we see your face?
Okay. Let me just turn on my camera then.
Fantastic. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm leaving it to you. I'm going for a birthday party. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, once again, I want to welcome everyone to this Cloud and AI Security Bootcamp. My name is Oyimafu Emmanuel. I'm one of the privileged mentors of the bootcamp, and I'm going to be walking us through the curriculum first. Then after walking us through the curriculum, I'll show us the YouTube channel so that we can see those that are asking questions like, where should I start from? I'll show us where we can start from, and also I'll show us how we can create a GitHub account for those that don't have the GitHub account already. Then also I'll show us how we can optimize the Azure environment so that we don't use up our credits and it's finished on time. So I'm going to do all that. And the last, how we are going to be submitting our assignments. And at the end of the day, it's going to be beneficial to every one of us, sincerely. So let me share my screen so I can walk us through the curriculum. Yeah. Okay, so let me know if you can see my screen. So once again, I want to welcome everyone to the Cloud and AI Security Engineer Bootcamp. So the sections is 26-week sections. So basically what I'm just trying to do is I want to show us our expectations so that we can block our calendars, we can prepare because the sections are going to be good. And I want us to actually be aware. And just like our MVP, Emmanuel Itoje, said, we can go ahead and study in advance to the time. So this is how our learning journey is going to be at a glance. It's going to be 26-week structured mentor-led training from start to finish. Just like Emmanuel said, the mentors that are coming to mentor us are actually industry experts. Like even me, I will be joining most of the sections to learn. And there are some core parts that we are going to cover, like identity, governance, storage, networking, AI, servers, apps, and security operations. So like someone was asking, all our sections is going to be every Saturday. And those sections are actually expert-led sections. Just we have dedicated mentors per sections. There are some mentors that will be taking us twice. There are some that will be taking us once. But believe me, it's going to be amazing. And we also have hands-on labs that we are going to practice and learn more. To start from the first phase, we are starting with identity and governance. So today, this is the section we're having where me and Itoje, we are taking the section and we have our moderator, Chidima Ugu. And 4th of July, we'll be looking at secure access to resources using Microsoft Entra ID. So Emmanuel Itoje is going to break this section down by teaching us how we can secure access to resources using Microsoft Entra ID. We'll also look at secure Azure Key Vault with defense in depth. And Oluwatosin Ajala will be taking us this section 11th of July. And on the 18th, we have enforced security governance and compliance. Oluwatosin is also going to be taking us this course. And on 25th, we have enforced security governance and compliance part 2. Just like Emmanuel Itoje said, so we don't want to be loading us with too much information. So that is why we are actually breaking some of this into parts so that it can be easy for every one of us to understand. So we now move to database and network security. So I'll be taking this one, implement security for Azure storage, while Gabriel will be taking us on implement security for Azure SQL database. And we have Dumebi Chukwuemeka that will be taking us on the 15th of August, implement network security controls in Azure. So this is actually very important. And part 2, Dumebi will also take us implement network and security controls in Azure, part 2. Yeah. So for the AI security, yeah, we have Emmanuel Itoje that will be taking us how we can implement security for AI, which is very important now because we have AI. Most organizations just want to be building agents, building chatbots, and securing those AI applications is very important. So Emmanuel Itoje will be taking us on implement security for AI. Why part 2, Onyekachi Susan Lawal will be taking us implementing security for AI part 2. And Farouk Damilola will take us same topic, part 3, 12th of September. So if we move further, we have server and VM security. So our amazing MVP, Imo Etuk, is going to be taking us server and VM security. He's going to be taking part 1, part 2, and part 3. So it's also very important that we know how to secure servers and VM. So we divided them into 3 parts so that at the end of these sections, at least everybody is going to know how to secure both servers and VMs as well. So we just go. So the next is application platform security. So I'll be taking the class secure Azure Applications Platform part 1, while part 2, Chidima Ogu will be taking it, and she will also take part 3. And if we go further, we have the next one, which somebody was asking, are we going to go into SOC? So we'll look at security posture management using Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So Chidima Ogu will be taking the lead on this part, while our amazing mentor, Oluwafemi Akinfewa, is going to be taking Microsoft Defender for Cloud part 2. And following, Oluwafemi Akinfewa will also take part 3. So all these sections are very important. Then we now look at the SOC aspect of things, where we are going to be looking at Microsoft Sentinel part 1, part 2, part 3. Sentinel is very important. It's very, very important. And most organizations are looking for people that can manage Microsoft Sentinel for them, only Sentinel. They don't want you to know any other thing, just Sentinel. So I urge us to actually don't joke with any class. Let's join all these classes. And the mentor that will be taking us is Mushbag Olagunju. So he'll be the one taking us this section. Yeah, the slide will be shared in the WhatsApp group, and it will also be uploaded in our GitHub page. So we also have the next one that we'll be looking at, which is deploy and operate Microsoft Security Copilot. This is very important because Security Copilot is one of the tools that organizations use to actually make their security operations easier for their team. Because when you use AI to triage security, to triage events and get informations on alerts that will take you time to analyze. So this section is actually good. And Doyin Sola Balogun will be taking it alongside with our amazing Chidima Ogu. And we have the last sections that Emmanuel was talking about. Ask me anything. Because we actually know that at the end of this bootcamp, there will be a lot of questions that people want to ask. And those questions are valid and requires answers. That's why we have the sections, and our amazing MVP, Emmanuel Itoje, is going to be leading these sections. Some of us are going to join, and it's going to be amazing. Yeah, by the precious grace of God, God will keep every one of us. We are going to witness this day, and we are going to celebrate. Like Emmanuel said, some people will even reach out to him like, this sections was nice. Oh. So many people will get jobs, remote jobs, and all by the special grace of God. So here we have meet your mentors. So these are your mentors. Emmanuel Itoje is taking us on identity and AI security. Oyimafu Emmanuel, storage and application security. Oluwatosin Ajala, key vault and governance. Gabriel, SQL database security. Chukwuemeka Dumebi, network security. Susan Onyekachilawal, AI security. Farouk Damilola Bakari, AI security. Imo Etuk, server and VM security. While Chidima Ogu will be taking us on application security. Then Oluwafemi Akinfewa will be taking us on Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Mojbag Olarunju will be taking us Microsoft Sentinel. Then doing Solar Balogu, Security Copilot. And we are not leaving our moderators aside. So we have our amazing moderators, Chidima Ugu. Although Chidima Ugu is also part of the mentors, but she still volunteered to mentor. That's amazing. Thank you very much. And we have Amos Adereti. Amos Adereti is one of our leaders and is a very, very go-to person that you can meet anytime. We have Susan Onyekachi, who is also a mentor and also a moderator. And we have Remi Kunle, Olakunle, Chidebere, and Timitokwe. So this will bring me to showing us our YouTube channel. Yeah, so let me just bring that screen here. Yeah. So the link to this YouTube channel has been dropped on the chat. So if you go to the YouTube channel, first of all, you will see all our playlists. So most times if I go to any YouTube channel, so what I do is that I like to go to the playlist, because if you go to videos on the YouTube channel, everything will be scattered. You'll be seeing different sections. Like this was the AMA section Emmanuel Itoje took. You see it here. You see other sections we had, Chidima Ugu, Stephen Oshonuga, everything is just here. But if you want to see it in an organized way, so most times what I do, I just go to the playlist. So from the playlist, you'll see everything about our community in our YouTube channel. Here we have the Cloud Security 2025. So 2025, this year, we had some sections on cloud security where we focused on XC, well, focused on, I think, XC500. No, not, is it XC, is it EZ500 then? These sections, I really learned a lot from this section, sincerely. This section really helped me. It's really helped me because you can see here we have different playlists here that you can watch to learn sincerely. So you can go here and watch. So let me go back. So back to our mentorship program now. So we have it here, Next Gen Cyber Army Microsoft Security Training. So if you click on this Next Gen Cyber Army Cyber Security Training, you are going to see all our sections here. So the first section, we have the AMA section here. Then after the AMA sections, we have, although it looks a bit scattered. So if you want to start it, you start from the bottom to the top. So from the bottom here, we have Next Gen Cyber Army Introduction to Microsoft Security Fundamentals. So this is the video Emmanuel was talking about that you need to watch. Because if you watch this video, it will be easy for you to actually understand the fundamentals of cloud security. Then Okwemi Stephen also described capabilities of Microsoft Entra ID, Oladele Saores, Okwemi, see all of them. So where he was talking about was, if you want to watch, you watch this first fundamental, you watch this second one by Okwemi Stephen, you watch this third one by Oladele Saores, then this fourth one by Okwemi Stephen. So once you get here, you have covered the fundamental part of the security of Microsoft security. Then after that, we now have other sections Emmanuel Itoje handled on lab. So this section now is going to help you should in case maybe you want to learn the hands-on, which is very important. You watch these two sections. And also, Chidema Ogu took us on some applied skills. You can also watch them. So if you want to watch them from this place downwards, so that's where the fundamentals, you can start from the first one here, which is Next Gen Cyber Army. Let me zoom my screen in. I think it's too. So you can start from this Next Gen Cyber Army here. You just watch them up. Yeah. So the next I'm going to touch is the how to create a GitHub profile. So the reason why we are creating GitHub profile is that GitHub is free and you can host your documentations on GitHub and post on LinkedIn for recruiters to actually see and engage with, which is very important because it has happened to me before. I applied for one job. So when I applied for the job, the person that posted the job on LinkedIn is somebody I know. So as soon as I applied for the job, I now reach out to the person. I said, I've applied. Then the next thing I saw the person posted on LinkedIn. You know what the person said? He said, some of you just go and apply for jobs. You just go and copy the job description and put on your CV and apply without showing the actual job that you have done to show that you know that job. So most times, if we're applying for jobs, after you put your skills and everything, it's good you even put links there. Okay, go to this GitHub profile to see what I wrote on how I configured cloud security. Go here, how I configured AI security. So what people want is they want to see proofs. They want to see your workings. These days, most people are tired of interviewing people, and at the end of the day, they come in and it will not be as if it's just like you just went to memorize all the questions and come and answer. They want to see proofs. So with this GitHub, we the community leaders, we sat down and like it will be important that our mentees get to know this. Because once you have your GitHub profile, you upload all your learnings, everything you are learning there, it will actually help you. Yeah. So I'll just walk us through how we can create GitHub. For those of us that have our GitHub account, don't worry. This is actually not for you. It's for those that are new and want to create GitHub for the first time. So if you want to create GitHub, I'm going to open a private browser so that everything will be fresh here. So I'll zoom in this screen. So most times what I do is I'll just go to Google. You can just say GitHub. You can just say GitHub setup. So once you click on GitHub setup, you have to accept. So you can see some links here, setup GitHub, which I'm going to be dropping on the chat so that those of us that want to be following me as I'm setting it up, it could be easier. So one person can just volunteer to drop their email so that I can actually just use that as an example to create GitHub because I already have an account, but if you don't have GitHub, you can just drop your email on the chat so that we can just use it to create GitHub account and use for the tests. So I'm waiting for someone to drop. Okay, somebody has already dropped. So I'll be using this person's Gmail. So ensure that you are logged into this Gmail because a security code, some code will be sent to the Gmail. So if you don't have access to this Gmail, kindly just let us know so that another person can drop to avoid. So if you are here in this page, so you can just click on setup. So I'll be dropping the link here with us on the chat. So let me drop it. So for those that want to follow us, they can actually follow us. Okay, I'll share it to the WhatsApp group. So Mercy, please, can you help me share it so that I can concentrate on the class? So firstly, if you want to create a GitHub account, so there are two methods you can use. If you have your Gmail already, sign into your browser, you can just click on continue with Gmail. If you click on continue with Gmail, if your Gmail is already signed into your browser, it automatically registers you with that account. All you just need to do is to do the verification. So, but if you don't want to use that method, you don't want to use Gmail, you don't want to use Apple, then you can just put your email here. So I'll paste the email. Okay, this is the link. So let me clear this. Let me paste the email. I think I copied this email. So you put your email there. So who dropped that email? So Oroma, I'm going to use a password that I'm going to share with you. Then after after it, you can always reset your password. So I'll just use So we come here. So for username, so you can just drop any username you would like to use on the chat. You can just drop it so that we can just use the username. Okay. Okay, Oroma U. I just hope somebody have not used it before. So I'll just put the username here. Then for region, for those of us joining from UK, from Albania, from Algeria, from different countries, even from Iraq or Iran. So you can just select your country as it is. Just select your country. And what you just do next is to click on create account. So if you want to click this checkbox for receive occasional products, you can click it. But I don't like my emails to be full with all this kind of announcements. So that is why I don't click it personally. But if you know you want to be updated with everything that GitHub is doing, you can just do that. So I'll click on create account. So in this process, it's going to show as if it's verifying the account. So we'll wait for it. It will verify the browser. Then verification is complete. So we'll wait. So now it's asking me for a code that have been sent to Oroma Unifo, just like I was saying the other time. So please kindly provide the code so that I can enter it here. If you have the code, okay, thank you. So 178-259-75. Okay, it's going to continue. So now it's asking me to log in with the username and email. Okay, so let me just paste the email. Then let me put the password. I hope I still remember this password, because sometimes it can be very difficult to be memorizing password. And that's all. So the GitHub is ready for use. So later, Oroma can always reset her password. So if you have a question, you can drop your question on the chat. I have some amazing mentors that can answer your question. And also, I'm looking at the chat window. I can always answer you. So here, if you succeeded in creating your GitHub account, you can watch this video later to just see GitHub for beginners, how to get started, and the likes. So now, this is a empty GitHub account. So if I click on the profile here, if I click on her picture, you can see it automatically picked her account. So the reason why it automatically picked her picture because of this picture is what she's using for her Gmail. So if I go to profile now, there are some settings you also do once you create your GitHub account. So you see her picture here, Oroma U, and she joined 2026. So most times in GitHub here, you will see your contributions. So everything you are doing, people are seeing it. So it actually helps. So you can see everything here. This is the time she joined, 27th of June, 2026. Here, you can edit the profile. So if I click on edit profile here, so there are some things you can add, like her name. Later, she can always add her name. So I won't add anything here, but I'll just use it as an example. So let me increase this screen so it will be big. So you can always add your name later. Let me just add Oroma. Oroma. So I've added Oroma. So later you can put your full name and you can put your bio. So just like my name is Oroma. I'm a cloud security engineer. I'm this, I'm that. You can put it there. Then your pronouns. You can say if you are a woman or if you are a man, you can just put it there. This is actually good so that at least people will know how to address you. Yeah. So your company, where you are working, you can also put your company here. You can put your location. If you are in Iran or you are in Israel or you are in Qatar, you can always put it there. So your email, you can put your personal email here. You can see under the personal email, it picked this email because that's her email. So I can just, but later on your own, it's good you work on all this. You can put links to your social media account, links to everything you do. You can just put it there so that it will also help recruiters to actually see what you're doing. So I'll click on save after that. So I've actually saved it. So under our profile now, you see Oroma is showing here. So anybody that maybe you want to share your GitHub profile with, once you just share this Oroma with them, they have access to, they can actually see the projects you are working on that are in public, which I'm also going to show us too. So this is her profile. There are some things you need to check. You need to check once you create a GitHub account. So now this GitHub account is empty. There is actually nothing here because it's just a fresh account. So if I go to settings, there are some settings I want us to know in GitHub that is very important. So here, if you want to maybe specify some of those things, you can do it from here. And also from account, if you are tired of, if you are joining the meeting, please kindly mute your mic. So if you are tired of GitHub in the future, you can always delete your account if you don't need the account again. So you can delete the account from here. And there are other things that you need to be aware of, like the appearance. If you want to change the appearance, you don't want your own to be light, you want it to be dark. I think dark will be better. So let me make it dark. Let me just pick this color. I want to select dark. Okay. I need to turn it on from here. So once I turn it on now, it should update. So if you go to accessibility, you can actually see some settings that you can actually do from here, from accessibility, editor behavior. So I'm taking my time to explain because I know that there are some beginners here that are new to GitHub, so that we can have that fundamental understanding of GitHub in a basic way. No more technicality. So notifications, you can just play around all this. So for passwords, here, you can reset your password. You can change your password. Like I'm going to share the password I use in creating the account with you. You can always come here and reset your password. So here now, you can always add another authentication method. So it is best practice, anything we do. So it's good we always enable two-factor authentication. So later on, you can enable two-factor authentication on your own. So that's all I'll be showing us with regards GitHub. So the next I'm going to be showing us is maybe you want to create your own repository, your own personal repository in GitHub. All you need to do is you can even refresh the page. You can go back, you can click on these three horizontal lines here and go to home. So once you click on home, it takes you to the home page. So from the home page, you can click on create a repository from this end, or you can click on create a repository from this particular button here. If you click on new, you can create a new repository. You can import a repository. You can create a new code space, new gist, new organization, or new project. But in this case, we're interested in creating a repository. So I'll just come here, click on new repository. So in the new repository, you will give your repository a name. So let me say Oroma Security Series. So you can give it any name of your choice, but spaces are not allowed. You can give it any name of your choice. You can call it anything. Later, you can delete it if you like. So description is very important. So it's good you give good descriptions. So this GitHub repo is for all my security learnings. This GitHub repo is for all my security learnings. Then now, this is under the configuration. So the first part is the general, where you put your name, you put the name of the repo, you put the description. So for configuration, this is very important. If you are actually building something on GitHub or you are creating a documentation that you don't want people to see, you just want it to be only you or people you want to see it, then you have to change it from public to private. Because if the visibility is in public, that means anyone on the internet can see this repository, which is no good. But you can choose who can commit, meaning that everybody can see it, but nobody can commit any change to your repository except you choose them to. So for private, you choose who can see and no commit to this repository. So any private repository, people can only see it when you want them to see it. But public, anyone on the internet. So we need to take note of this. With this test, I'm just going to make it a public repo. So you can decide to enable a README file or you don't want to. So README file is very important because if you enable README file, you can add the details of the repository you are creating so that if somebody comes to your repo for the first time, from your README file, the person will be able to understand what your repository is all about. And aside that, if maybe somebody is searching for content, if your README file is rich enough, the person can actually get your search on time. So that is why README file is good. So add git ignore. You can decide to add it. You can decide to add a license if you like. You can pick any of the licenses, but this is just basic class. So we'll just click on create repository, which with this, you are good to go. So this repository have been created. So because we selected README, that was why it automatically created Oroma Security Series. So this repo now is for Oroma. Oroma is the owner of this repo. She can decide to do anything she wants to do. She can add file, she can delete file, she can do whatsoever she wants to do. So let me show us how to add a file to your GitHub repository. Maybe you want to document, you want to do anything so that you can share with Recruiter. So now that you have created your GitHub repository, so you click on add. So if you click on add, you have two options here. You can create a file and you can upload a file. So this upload works maybe when you are working on the file locally and you want to just upload it, it still works. Or maybe if you are using Cloud, you can just go to Cloud and say, create a documentation for me on so. Cloud will help you to do it. So in this case, I'll just click on create a new file so that I can show us how to create a new file. So since this repository now is actually a new repository, and the repository is for Oroma Security Series. So this is what I want to do. Remember, you need to create folders to manage your learning. So since this is Oroma Security Series, I can say, let's say Entra ID. Then if you want to create a folder in GitHub, you put the name of the folder, then you put /. So once you put /, it automatically creates a folder. So for Entra ID, I can now say the title of the file now will now be Introduction to Entra ID.md. So it's good we add the extension of the file we're adding. So once I do this, introduction to Entra ID.md, I can now come here and type what I want to type. So if you want to use a heading that maybe you want to create a heading that is going to like be, you want to use heading 1. So you use 1# to do it. So you can now come here and say, let's say what, let's say what is Entra ID. So now this is the first heading here. So I can now come down and say Entra ID is a platform. It's a platform used to manage users, groups, and more. So now that you have put something like this, you may say, okay, you want to add an image to this because you know image is very important. So I can just go to the browser here and add a tab and say Entra ID. So once I click on it, I can now select image. Then I can now I can select this image here. So what I'll do is I can now right click on the image and say copy image. I can now come to my .md file and paste the image here. So once I paste the image here, you see that it shows the link of the image. So I'll just commit the changes. So when you are committing any change, so it's good you add a commit message so that in the future, when you come here, you always know the reason why you committed it. You know, we are humans, you can always forget. You may be doing something, you don't even know the reason why you're doing it. But with this commit message, it will always remind you. So you can commit directly to the main branch for now. So if you're doing anything, always just use one branch so that you don't confuse yourself. So I'll just say commit changes. So, and once I commit the changes, that's all. So you can see now that a folder was created, Entra ID, and a .md file was created. So I will select this .md file. You see it. What is Entra ID? Entra ID is a platform used to manage users, groups, and more. So the image is not loading, but if you select the image, you should see the image. But some image loads, but maybe it's just taking time because of my network, but it's supposed to show the image here. So this brings me now to our community, how we are going to be submitting our assignment to our community. So if you want to add another file under Entra ID, so all you need to do is to select Entra ID here, then you go to the plus button here, or if you don't want to use the plus button here, you can use this one here to say create a new file or upload a new file, or you can even use this button here to add a file. So if you select this button, it means the same thing. This one, but the advantage of this particular button here is that this one automatically just enables you to add a file. But this button enables you to add both a file and upload a file. So you can do two things here. But with this, you can only do one thing. So most times we'll be using these upload files. So we're going to get it later. So if you want to create a new folder, a new file under Entra ID, you click on add a file, create a file. So you can call this file, let's say, conditional access.md. Then you commit it. So I don't want to add anything. So we'll just say commit changes. So once we commit changes, we can see here that we have 2.md file. So if maybe, for instance, this one that I wrote before, I want to edit it. So all I need to do is I'll just click on this pencil icon here. If I click on it, I can edit it. I can remove anything. If I say I want to remove more, I want to add both users, aside users. You can also use it to manage devices, applications. Then I can now say commit changes. So it's still the same thing. So you just commit the change. So after creating a file, it doesn't mean that you cannot edit it. You can still edit it by just clicking this pencil sign. So the next thing I'm going to do now is that I'm going to now send our community repository that we are going to use to actually submit our assignment. So I'll be dropping it on the chat now. So once you see the repository, I will show you the instruction on what to do. So let me just get the repository URL and share. Okay, where is it? Okay, just hold on. Okay, I think this is it. So let me copy it and share with us on the group. Okay, so if you have that repository URL, I've dropped it on the group. So just copy that repository URL. If you have in your browser that you signed into GitHub, you can paste that URL on that browser. So this is the URL here. So I'm pasting it on the browser that I signed into GitHub. So the reason why I'm pasting it on the browser that I signed into GitHub is because it will automatically take me to my profile here. So I'll just hit enter. So once I hit enter, it brings us to the Microsoft Naija Security GitHub Onboarding Workshop. So this is our GitHub Onboarding Workshop that the community leaders have created. And the reason why we created it is we want a collaborative environment where some of our mentors can actually come here and check this repository to actually see what we are doing and to give us feedback on what we are doing. So I'm going to show us how we can leverage on this repository. So those of us that have clicked on the GitHub URL, kindly just say yes on the chat. So let me know how many people have clicked on this, our GitHub workshop URL, our GitHub onboarding workshop URL. Kindly say yes. Okay. So many people have clicked on it. Wow. I love the kind of candidates we have. This is good. Like I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we are following. I'm so happy that we are following. This is actually very, very nice. And I believe the leaders appreciate this. This is what Emmanuel was talking about. Active participation. And I'm sure if he's watching the recording, he will be happy with the response from the mentees. Okay, this is actually good. So this GitHub profile has nine folders here. So the GitHub repository has 9 folders. So the first repository is account creation, repository setup, folder structure, markdown, readme, troubleshooting, security best practice, lab exercises. So this GitHub now is more or less like if I go to the readme file here, if I click on the readme file, we're going to see the way the readme file is. So this is the Microsoft Naija Security User Group GitHub Onboarding Workshop. So you can see our community logo and you can see the flyer that we sent on LinkedIn. So this is what I was talking about readme file. Readme file is very important because if somebody goes to LinkedIn, if somebody goes to, it's just like you did a video on YouTube on Active Directory. If you use good descriptions on your YouTube video, if people just go to link YouTube and search Active Directory, it will take them to your video and you'll be getting more views. Some people that you see that they are getting views on YouTube, it's not as if their videos is too good. There are some people that their videos, if you watch them, you will learn a lot, but they are getting 10 likes, 20 views. Why? Because of the way you position your description. And that is why I want us to leverage on our README file so that it should be very, very good and very presentable. So this is what this repository is all about. So once again, welcome to the official GitHub onboarding and class note repository for the Microsoft Naija Security User Group X500 mentorship program. So it's starting every Saturday, just like I've made mention and Emmanuel Itoje have made mention. So this repo gives mentees a structured place to fork the repo, add their own notes after each sections, track their learning's progress across all 26 sections, build a portfolio for security knowledge they can share with employers. You can see here, we are concerned about your going forward. And that is why we are trying everything possible to ensure that we all go forward, just as God wants us to go forward. So if we go down, how to participate, you do not need to be added as a collaborator. Each mentees get their own file, no conflict, no overwriting anyone's else work. So everything is nice. So these are the steps if you want to get it started. I've already shared the GitHub repo with you. So the next thing you do now, after receiving the repository, once you have clicked on the repository, you can just go to the home page of the repository. I think I'm looking for the options to, let me go back to code. So you can click on code. So once you click on code, it brings you back to the page where we have our everything here set up. So later on your spare time, you can click on this GitHub onboarding tags. So the next thing I want to do now is to show us how we can actually submit our assignments and put ourselves out there for recruiters to like know that, okay, yeah, we're actually doing something. So here now, I will click on the classes. So once I click on classes, it brings me to all the sections that we'll be having. This is the section for 27. This is the section for 4th of July, 11th. So everything is here. So what is expected of every mentees is this. So after today's class now, we all have an assignment. So the first assignment is create your GitHub profile. Then after creating your GitHub profile, that is the next thing you do. So under each classes, we have sections. If I maximize this now, although I'm not able to move it, but you will see that each of them always have a template file. So this one, I submitted this one. So if I open this template file, you are going to see what I submitted. My notes, Oyimafu Emmanuel, key concept I learned, how to create Git, how to create GitHub profile. I created my GitHub account. It worked. Nothing. My takeaway. I didn't write anything. Questions. I didn't write anything. Resources I found. I didn't write anything. Submitted by Oyimafu Emmanuel. So this is the structure of how we want it to be. But any mentee can do better. You can populate your own with a lot of things here because that's what we the mentors are going to be looking at to rate you. Because at the end of the day, everybody's work is going to be here so that we can be evaluating, we can be seeing your progress. If maybe you posted anything here that needs improvement, we can call you, okay, what you are doing, we think that you need to do better. You need to do more. So to get started and submit your assignments, so the one you need to download is the Pre-Bootcamp Onboarding Template. So if I click on the Pre-Bootcamp Onboarding Template now, it's going to give us a blank note. You can here it said replace with your name, then key concept learned. So I'm going to be doing a practical on how to submit an assignment, and I'll be submitting for Oroma. So here now, the first thing you will do is you will download this template file. Don't go and download another person's work. But if you download another person's work, you can always edit it to fit into your own. It's still fine. But make sure you don't copy. Just like our MVP said, Emmanuel Itoje, let's not copy. Let's be unique. So I'll come here. I'll click on download. So once I click on this dot here, it means I want to download the raw file. So if I click on download the raw file, it will ask me for a folder that I want to save it. So here, when saving it, if I were you, I will just change the name immediately. You will remove this template. So the template don't need to be there. You put your name here. So you can put Oroma. So for Oroma now, I want to know her full name. So Oroma Unife. So you put Oroma hyphen Unife. Then that's all. So pre-bootcamp onboarding. So the reason why we are doing this is tomorrow another person will not come and say somebody used this one, and you put your first name and your second name. So if you like, you can put your three names because there could be another person that is Oroma Onife. So we just need to take note of that. So I'll click on save. So once I click on save, it automatically saved the .md file on my system. So basically now the file has been saved on my system. So you don't even need to do anything. You don't need to go to anywhere. So since it has been saved, I'll still come back here and re-upload the file I saved back here again. So I'll just click on the sections. So you make sure you select the section that you want to submit. So once you click on the sections, you click on the add button here. Then you say upload files. Then if you, okay, upload are disabled. Okay, that means I need to work on this. Upload, file upload required push access to this repository. So I think we need to work on this. So let me just go back to creating the file. So, but basically you can also, sorry, I've not even forked the repository. So let me do that. Let me do that immediately. So she's trying to like add a file to the Microsoft Naija security repository, which she's not supposed to do so because you need permission to actually do that. So now what you do is you click this button here to fork the repository. So once you select it, it brings you to the page where you can fork the repository. So once you do that, you see the options here. So you don't check any box here. We just click on create fork. So some of us that maybe you could make this kind of mistake that I made, don't worry, you won't be able to do anything. So you just have to follow the process by doing it. So you cannot fork in your personal account. Copy to the main. Okay, we have actually done it. So now that we have forked the community repository, so you can see here now, it's saying that this branch is up to date with Microsoft Naija Security User Group or shop name. So when you log in to this repository, so the first thing you do is you ensure you sync the branch. So if maybe someone else have submitted the assignment, and we have approved it, it will show here that okay, we should actually, it will show you here that your branch is not up to date. So once you sync it, it will automatically bring your branch up to date. So now the next thing we'll do is we are going to do the same thing we did the other time, but I'm not going to download the file again. So I'll come to classes. So under classes, I'll collapse the first classes, which is the pre-onboarding bootcamp. Then I'm going to select this folder again. Then once I select this folder, I'm going to click on add a file, then click on upload file. So you can see here that here I can upload. The reason why she cannot upload on that repository is that upload of repository is not allowed. So I'll come to this download page. I think it's in this folder. Then I'll just think I need to make, okay, so this is it. The file I downloaded, Pre-Bootcamp Onboarding, Oroma Unife. So I'll select it and click on open. So once I click on open, the file has been uploaded. Then here now, you can add a message to commit the changes, but it's good to always add a message so that at least later you will always know why you did that. Let's say I want to submit my task. Then you click on commit changes. So once you click on commit changes, automatically, if you go back to classes, under the pre-onboarding class, you are going to see your file here, the one you just added. You can see the commit message. I want to submit my file. So everybody here has their commit message. So for this, I will click on the file here. So once I click on the file, I will now click on the edit here on the portal. So on the portal here, I will just remove this name. My name is Oroma Unife. So you add it. Oroma what? Unife. So anything you want to populate here. So basically, the reason why we are doing this, we just want you to actually learn. So the instruction is even here. You download the file to your computer. Then once you download the file, you save it, you rename it to your name. Then you can use a text editor to edit it, or you upload the file to GitHub, which was what we did. So now that you are submitting, you don't need all this, because the reason why we are putting all this is that we want, in case maybe you forgot the steps, you can always come here to check it. So I'll clear. So once I clear, I now have this part, key concept length. So don't worry about this comment section, it won't show. So what are the key concepts that I learned in this section? Let's say class management. Then the next section is how to create GitHub. Then the next question is, what you learned is how to collaborate on GitHub. So if you want to add more, you click on enter. It's just like your normal you add. So you can see how to fork a repository. So you can just put everything you learned. So with this alone, if you even post it, at least the recruiters or the people, your audience will know that this person now have basic understanding of GitHub. Even if you are not doing it from VS Code, but at least you understand what GitHub is all about. So the next is hands-on lab. So this hands-on lab is very important. What I did. So what you did is this. So you can just say, I created my GitHub account. So after creating your GitHub account, then I download the class files. So you can do this. Then what happened? Results. It was successful. Challenges I faced. One of the challenges I faced is that I did not fork the repository. I tried to upload and it failed with an error. So sometimes you can even put the error message here, because tomorrow somebody can be having that issue. The person will just, oh, how, and at least what you put here will save the person. So my key takeaways, I learned how to set up GitHub repository. So after this, if you have any question, you can put it here. So the reason why we put question here is that our amazing mentors will be reviewing this. They will be checking your questions. Anything you want to ask or follow up to ask any mentor, you can put it here. I'm having issues, so understanding the process. So at the end of the day, later, somebody will review it and get back to you. So on the last part here, you put your GitHub username. I'll put mine, Oroma. So our GitHub username is Oroma. Then her full name is. So later, Oroma, once you have access to the GitHub, you can correct it. Oroma Unobe. So at the end of the day, what you can do is, we have AI. AI is actually our companion. So what you can do is, after this, after you have written things you learned from the class, you can copy it and take it to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, please, I want to submit my assignment. This is what I learned. Help me fine tune it. Use the context I've given on the chat. ChatGPT will help you write these things. And you just come here and paste it. It's not as if it's ChatGPT that did the assignment, but you just use ChatGPT to enhance what you did. So at the end of the day, once you are done, you click on commit changes. So you need to put a commit message again. So it's thinking, revise onboarding notes for Oroma. So we'll put commit directly to main. So always commit directly to main. So now you can see that everything has changed. Class management, this. Now you are done with this. So after doing this, that's not all. So the next thing you do, you go back to code, you click on code. So once you click on code now, remember, you have worked on something. So this is how you submit your assignment. This is how you submit your assignment. If you want to submit your assignment, you click on contribute. Remember, you are contributing. You are contributing to the community. If you click on contribute, it will tell you that the branch is 2 commits ahead of Microsoft Naija Security User Group, meaning that you need to, your branch now is ahead of Microsoft Security Community User Group because you just worked on yours. Then you click on open pull requests. So when you click on open pull requests here, if you want to add a title, it's important. If you don't want to add a title, you can just click on create pull request here, but it's good you add it. So let me just say my assignment for onboarding. Then the next is what I learned. I learned. So here, if you want to drop any file or anything, you can add it. So here now, just say create pull request. So I've clicked on create pull request now. So this is how you submit your assignment. So you wait. So if you did it very well, you won't get any conflict. But some people, if you did not rename your file, you just go and upload the one we sent, you may get conflict. So you see no conflict here. So now you have created a pull request. So let me show you what we, the leaders, will see from our end. So let me open my own GitHub account so that I will just show you what we will see and how we are going to review your assignment. So I will come to that same repository here. So let me go to GitHub. So GitHub here, I'll click on my account here. Then I'll go to organizations so that I can go to Microsoft Naija Security User Group. So I'll select it so that I can see what's happening in the repo. So if I come here, I can see that we have only one repository in the Microsoft Naija Security Group, which is GitHub Onboarding Workshop. So I'll select it. So once I select it here, you see something here, pull request. So that request that Oroma sent, I'm going to now review the pull request here. So here now, this is her pull request, my assignment for onboarding. That is why it's good you put description. So 1 minute ago. So what I can do is I'll just click on the assignment and all, so that let me even see what she did. So here you can view everything. I can view everything she did. And if I like, I can merge it. So before I merge it, I want us to see something. So let me come back to code. Let me show us how it's going to be and why we want us to be submitting our assignment. So if I click on classes here and I select the first pre-onboarding class, you see here that her own is not here. It's only Oyimafu Emmanuel Okereke and the template. So if I click on pull request and I say new pull request, so you can see here. So it's going to ask me some questions, main to main. Then if I'm okay with it, I'm going to like compare both and I'm going to like accept it. So as it is here, I'm going to just leave it, but that's how you do it. So on a normal day, we won't just approve it. We have to review everything you did before we approve it. So that's just that. So if you have any question, just hold on. I'll soon be done with the class. So the last I'm going to be showing us is how we can optimize our Azure environment. So this is Azure Portal. So the onboarding attendance that was given to us is to actually get our name so that we can create an identity for everyone so that we can actually give you access to Azure environment where you can be creating your resources in Azure. So this is an Azure environment that I use sometimes to practice what I'm learning. So basically, if you are creating anything, always make sure you have a centralized resource group where you create all your resources. So you can create any resources in Azure. You could create, let's say, you can click on create a resource group here. So you can give the resource group any name of your choice. Like, let's say, let me say Oroma ROG. So this is a resource group now. So a resource group is a group that used to hold your resources in Azure. So let's not really take this into serious consideration, but once the mentors review it, once the classes begin proper. So all these things, we are going to explain all these things to us, most especially the first class, the second class, and the third class. So I've created that resource group. So the reason why I showed us how to create resource group is that most of the things you will be creating it in, just ensure that you have a resource group created so that all the resources you'll be creating them inside that resource group. So if I click on an existing resource group now, so let me select Azure DevOps. So let me take, for instance, this resource group is for Azure DevOps, and I'm done with this Azure DevOps. You can just delete the resource group completely. So the advantage of deleting the resource group is that once you delete it, you will not be billed. But if you don't delete it, you will be billed. Microsoft will bill you. Organizations don't delete their resources because they are using it to make money. They are using it to service their customers. But you, because you are learning, there's no need for you to keep your resources. Ensure you delete everything as you are creating it completely. So that's just it for Azure optimization. So once your Azure environment is ready and you are given access, you will be taught on managing virtual machines, managing AI security, Microsoft Defender for Cloud. On the subscription, you can enable anything you want to enable, but ensure that as you finish learning what you are learning, you disable them so that you can have more credit to do other things. Yeah. So if you have any question, you can ask. We just have like 5 minutes for questions before we wrap it up and call it a day. So thank you. So if you have any question, you can ask. So time for question and answer. So I can see some hands raised. So you can just ask, okay, I have my Michelle. Okay, so the three persons that the hands have raised number, the first person is Uche. So Uche, you can ask your question.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Good
hear
evening,
you.
Mr. Emmanuel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity, the privilege that you guys have given to us. A quick one, I want to ask, my question is concerning the Azure environment. So if let's say we have a lab that we are asked to do, so once we get it done, so how are we supposed to share the lab that was done if we need to delete the resource group?
Yeah, thank you very much. I love that question you just asked. So now most of the lab that you'll be creating. So basically, we created this GitHub repository so that as you are doing the lab, you can be uploading your work on GitHub. And those are the assignments we are talking about. So after each section, if for instance, let's say you don't want to write, you don't want to write, you don't want to write, you just want to like, how will I even call it? You don't want to write. You just want to submit your assignment. So basically, what you just come here is, maybe for instance, the class we did was on, let's say, was on Microsoft Entra ID, the one Emmanuel Itoje wants to take. So this class now is on Microsoft Entra Identity and Access Management. So here you have a summary of what the class entails. It controls who can sign into your apps. So once you read all this, you even have opportunity to even understand the class before Emmanuel takes the class. And we have the Microsoft Learn link here, so that if you want to learn, if you click on this link now, it's going to take you to Microsoft Learn. It's going to take you to Microsoft Learn. So see Microsoft Learn, secure access to resources using Microsoft Entra ID, so that you can even read it before the class. So before Emmanuel's class, you can even read all these things so that when Emmanuel is teaching, you can ask him constructive questions like, I don't understand this. How is this? So Emmanuel will explain to you. So now, let's say you want to submit after you have gone to Azure, created everything. Basically in Azure, what you do is you create a resource group. So my advice for you is that as you are clicking on create resource group, you copy, save it on OneNote or save it on anywhere. You copy, you save all your screenshots. When you save all your screenshots, you will now be putting them one by one. Okay, I did this, I did that, I did that. So now in your assignment part, so that's what you will now submit. So you come here under your own assignment here. So this template now, you can still download it, but Here, your own will not be all these key concept length. So this is just a template that we are giving. It doesn't mean that your assignment will be like this. So you can edit it, put what you learned, step on how to create a VM and secure it. You put all the steps, all the lab you have learned. So the advantage of this is that if, for instance, you want to post the link on GitHub, you can just copy the URL here and put it on the comment section to learn more. Go to this URL. So people will click on the URL and it will bring them to your GitHub page and they will see what you have worked on. So that's why we want you to delete it, because if you don't delete it, it will consume your money. You can always come here, document everything you have worked on so that in the future, if you want to do the same thing, you can always come to the GitHub profile and check it. So we are not going to delete the GitHub profile. It's protected. Even me, I can't delete it. There is a security measures in place that no one can delete this repo. You can even see to even edit anything here, you need permission to edit it if you are not a member of the organization. So I don't know if I answered your question.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, the next
Thank
person.
you.
So Dari Ademola, you can ask your question.
All right, I think my question is for assignment that we are uploading. Can we edit it on probably a notepad on our laptop and then upload the edited version? Or we have to just upload the template and then, okay, thank you.
You can do it on your notepad. So let me show you how to do it on notepad, because I want to avoid VS Code. I don't want to take anybody to VS Code, because if I take us to VS Code, it will look too technical. And the whole aim of the bootcamp is not to make things look too hard. So if you want to edit it, I'll just right click here and say open with. So you can open with Notepad, VS Code, but let's leave VS Code. Let's just use Notepad. Open with Notepad. So I've opened it with Notepad. So if you are opening it with Notepad, I want to show you there's a message you will see. So I want us to see that message. So let me share this my screen so that we'll see the warning message, because it's very important. So let me share. So I'm sharing my screen now. So you see this warning message here. Open in syntax view, open file. So once you click on open in syntax view. So you open in syntax view, it shows you everything. So you can just come here, remove this. So once you remove it, you type everything you have learned here. But the disadvantage of using it on Notepad is that, pictures. If you want to add pictures, so it's good you use the web version for pictures. So those of us that want to add pictures, add everything, our lab step-by-step guide, you do that. So you can also use Notepad to edit it. So once you finish editing it with Notepad, you click on save, and that's all. So you are good. So any other question before we conclude? Because we are running out of time, and just like our MVP has said, we don't want to take us for too long, and I'm trying my best to ensure that I don't make things look too hard, because even me, I don't like when things is too complex and too hard. Okay, so the next person, you can ask your question. I think the next person is Babafemi. Babafemi.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Sure.
So I want to ask when this recording will be available.
Okay.
On YouTube.
So the recording will be available, let's say this night, by God's grace. By God's grace, be available this night. Hopefully, should be available this night.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so any other question?
Mr. Emmanuel, I have mine in the chat section since.
Okay. Please, the chat, sometimes there are a lot of chats. So please, can you just redrop the question or you say it so that we don't just go and be checking the chat again?
Okay, so my question is, you did the one of the assignment. You also did one of collaborating. Are we supposed to do the two?
No.
On GitHub.
On GitHub, this is it. So after you have uploaded your assignment to GitHub, let me do it again so that everybody will understand. So let's say, for instance, now you want to upload, because let me check. Okay, this is her profile. So this is class 1. This is class 1, right?
We're not seeing your screen. We're not seeing
Okay,
your screen, sir.
let me share my screen again. Let me share. Okay, can you see my screen now? Is it okay? Why am I sharing this screen? Let me stop sharing this one. Stop sharing. Okay, let me share the one I want you to see. Okay, so this is my screen here. So if you check it,
Yes, sir.
these are the classes. These are the classes that this is the bootcamp and all that we had, right? So I want to explain it again so that at least you will understand it more. So now let me go to the repository. Let me go to this is Oroma account now. If I go to repository, let me go to our repository. So you can see that she has 2 repository here. She has our own repository, and you can see it here that it was forked from Microsoft Naija Security User Group GitHub Onboarding Workshop. So I'll select this one because that's the one I want to actually look at, because that's where everything is. So from here now, this is where we have concerns with classes, because this is where you submit your assignment. So under the pre-onboarding stuff, so you can see here that I've submitted this assignment here. So let's say I want to edit something here. Maybe what I submitted, I'm not okay with it. I want to edit it. I'll select it. So once I select it, I'll click on edit. So once I click on edit, you can add other things. Let's say the next thing I want to add is I did the homework. So now I click on commit changes. So if you don't collaborate, there is no way we, the mentors, will see what you are working. You must collaborate by force. You have to collaborate. So because if you don't collaborate, we cannot see your work. So if you click on code now, if you come to collaborate, you see something here. This branch is 3 commits ahead of the Microsoft Naija Security GitHub page made. So collaborating is just like you want to submit your work to the mentors. Once you have, if you upload any file here, so it's only you that will be seeing it here, because forking a repository is just like you are creating a copy of that repository in your own GitHub so that you can collaborate. So if I open it, you see that in your own GitHub now, your assignment is here. But if I go to the community GitHub, so let me go to the community GitHub. Where is the email address? Okay. So if I come to the community GitHub now and I go to code, if I go to code now and I go to classes, from classes, and I open this first class. So you can see here that your assignment has not gotten here. The reason why your assignment have not gotten here is because you have collaborated, but we have not approved it. So you see 2 assignments here. Completed GitHub Introduction Lab. My assignment, 2 changes. So now we need to create a pull request for these 2 changes that you have done. So once we create a pull request, that is when it will now show in our own repository. So that's just it. So you have to collaborate. You have to collaborate. That's just it. You have to collaborate with us, because if you don't collaborate with us, there's no way we can actually see your assignments. So once you submit, then you click on collaborate here. Then once you collaborate, you can click on open pull request. So once you click on open pull request, it's just like you want to submit. So you can see here, these are the pull requests that she has created. We have not approved them because I don't want to approve it. I'm taking it as a real life scenario. So the mentors are supposed to look at it. Then, okay, are we approving it? Fine. Because if you go and put something that is not quality, we may not want it to be in our repository. So that is why your assignment needs to be okay. So that's just the way it is. So I don't know, did I explain well, or you want me to still come again with the explanation?
Thank you, sir.
So
Thank you, sir.
okay. So for this part, sync fork, what it means is that if you want your own copy of the repository to be up to date to the community repo, once you say sync, automatically it syncs all the changes. So we are going to actually work on I'm going to approve it later. So any question? Any other question before we go?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, my hands have been up. I wanted to know, you mentioned, or maybe Mr. Itoje mentioned earlier about if one will be absent, maybe for a session that will not be available. On which forum am I going to notify the mentors that will not be available for a particular session? And two, please, the attendance sheet, I have not completed it. I need a reshare.
Okay. So the attendance sheet, apologies. That attendance sheet, my Oga has given us an order. We even exceeded the time that we're supposed to actually submit it, but we just had to like submit it, send it again back to the group. So except if he gives me the order to actually submit it back, that's when I will submit it. But what I would advise you to do is you have your LinkedIn, chat him up on LinkedIn. Let him know that, okay, you want to join, because we want to be strict. So chat him up on LinkedIn that you want to join, give him reasons why you should be allowed. And if your reasons is valid, he's going to send you the WhatsApp group and you will join. So that was just my advice for you. Reach out to him personally.
No, I mean the attendance sheet for this session. I'm already
Yes,
onboarded.
yes,
I registered
I
at the
understand.
beginning.
You did not join early. Had it been you joined the
Okay,
bootcamp early, had it been you joined this
okay,
meeting early, you would have gotten it.
okay.
Those that joined early, they have filled it. So for
All right.
coming late, you can apologize that, okay, give him the excuse you want to give. Then he's going
Okay.
to, I'm sure he's going to like pardon you. So for those
All
that
right.
will not be attending any class, the advice is on the WhatsApp group chat, drop it on the group chat that you will not be attending, or send a private message to any of the mentors. You can send a message to Mercy, you can send a message to me, anybody. So the advantage of doing that is that we want you to be accountable. We want to ensure that we have accountable people that we can beat our chest and recommend that, okay, these people, they can do this job. Those are the kind of people we want. And for us to do that, we have to be a little bit strict. And even the GitHub assignment, anybody that have any issue to submit, you can reach out to any of the mentors. We are going to guide you. And if you know how to use GitHub to submit your assignments and post your tasks, it's also a plus to you. Because tomorrow now you have a lot of things to show on your GitHub. GitHub is just like Facebook, any other social media that if you have anything there, it's there for life. And it's also a platform for learning as well. So that's it. So reach out to Emmanuel Itoje on LinkedIn or message him on WhatsApp. So the next person, if you have any question, you can ask Timothy
Thank
Abraham.
you.
Sorry,
Can you hear me?
I was
I can hear you.
yes, I can hear. I actually wanted to ask similar question to what the person has just spoken now, because I came a bit late too, so I missed out some of the important details of the training. So how do I reach out? What contact do we have to reach out to the boss in question? So how do I
Okay.
reach